More reaction videos, more analysis from two black men giving you the straight talk when you need it. This is We Trying. I'm Michael. That's Leroy. What's going on, man?
Not much. Just getting off work.
Word. Yeah, I am filming from an undisclosed location here. Apparently, I look like I'm a hostage video. I don't know. It is what it is. But we got to come together because we got an Ahsoka trailer. I assume you are excited for this. This is the official trailer, right? The thing we got before was a teaser trailer, or
No idea.
okay, no
Um,
idea what about the first thing or this thing.
I have no idea if this is the final trailer or what this is. I just know that the other day they did a video called Journey to Ahsoka,
I saw a thumbnail for that.
which basically was like I can't even remember her name right now. It's just literally escaped, and I'm literally picture I,
Rosario
like
Dawson.
yes, thank you. I was like, oh my
Huh?
gosh, I was blanked out. So basically, like the interviews that she did, and like the casting and all the build up to be becoming Ahsoka. So that dropped yesterday because today is
Today is
what's
Tuesday.
I have no idea this concept of time right now.
Well, I don't
Um,
know. I mean, technically it's Wednesday. I don't know.
if you say so, man. It's like
Okay.
things are just moving at light speed here. I have no
If you
idea.
want to help Leroy realize what day it is, like, comment, subscribe so we can get those numbers up to give him the medicine
So
to know what day it is.
yep. So then the trailer dropped, and it's going to be interesting because um, I'm very excited for this. But recently, Ray Stevenson, who was cast in this show, passed, and
Hmm.
so it's going to be like, what does that mean for the show? And honestly, how do you go forward doing this show when Ray Stevenson, I'm understanding, is a big part of this story, you know?
Interesting.
So I'm I don't want to say I'm conflicted, but I am curious to how is this trailer going to be cut, or how is the show going to be going forward, even when you're missing Ray Stevenson is not just a large man, he is a large presence whenever he does something, you know.
Sure.
So
You want to get into it and see what we got?
yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's, hold on. We're gonna drop that, make it bigger, and here we go.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
God.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
Good job.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war.
Chopper.
Trying to convince you to help me prevent another one.
You and I both know who could help you with this.
She's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain. You have no power.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Is it everything you wanted?
It is and it isn't. So I still have no concept of what's good. Like you get more of a concept of what's going on, but I still
Hmm.
have no. There's so many questions unanswered. So I don't know if you notice. So right here, notice that's orange.
Well, I would say red, but sure.
I To me it looks orange,
Okay.
and it matches. I don't know if you've noticed the lightsabers that Balin and the young woman are carrying, and
Oh
Dave
yeah. Okay. Looking
Filoni
at that, it does seem more orange. Okay.
Dave Filoni has said he at the Star Wars celebration in Europe. Someone asked, and he was like, "Very good catch. They are orange."
Okay.
And you saw Balin make the comment, "We are no Jedi."
Hmm.
So they're not Sith, or are they Sith? It's a very good question. What are they? So I'm very very excited for this to see what. Um,
Question for you, Star Wars man.
mhm.
She says, "Once a rebel, always a rebel."
Name
Is
of the
that
show.
from name of the show? Okay.
Mhm.
So again, I have not seen Rebels, and this looks cool to me. I wonder if I kind of wanted to watch Rebels to get the backstory, but now I kind of just want to watch it and see if I can make sense of what it is.
So they have made it a conscious effort to for you to be able to watch these shows without having to have watched Clone Wars or Rebels.
Hmm.
Filoni and Favreau have made basically created this interconnected world with these shows, but they also have said you can watch these things and not have seen other source material. It's not going to be that dense.
Hmm.
Um, so that's to me, those are more like Easter eggs and nods to people who have watched the shows and know these characters' relationships. But it's going to be very interesting because as we watch this, it looks like, oh, Ahsoka's getting the band back together,
Hmm.
and now you wonder, well, what happened for all of this for them to be separated? We know what happened with Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn. So what is happening that she sees a threat so big that she comes back after being gone for so long?
Yeah, and you brought it up before we even watched the video. You were saying Ray Stevenson seems to be a big part of the show, supposedly.
Hmm.
See, he does have some big scenes with the titular character Ahsoka. So I wonder, like, at this point, I doubt they would cut any scenes. I don't think with him. I don't think. I mean, who knows?
Hmm.
But I feel like they would probably keep it as is, and I wonder if that will then change. Because has this show already been greenlit for a second season yet, or we don't know?
We don't know, not as of
Okay,
yet.
okay. So I wonder if that would change the plans. Obviously, it would have to change the plans going forward for a season two if he was supposed to be big in it or not. Whether or not he survives, who knows yet?
Hmm.
Um, but it was cool to see. Again, as somebody who doesn't know everything about Star Wars, it's cool to see a live action version of Thrawn because even if I don't know everything about Star Wars, I definitely know the name Thrawn and heard him through so many canon stuff, legacy stuff, and now whatever. To see him in live action is great.
And of course, that was a nod to when they said the heir to the Empire. That's who Thrawn is, and that was the book that Timothy Zahn wrote that introduced Zahn, heir to the
Hmm.
Empire. He was the man who showed up after Return of the Jedi. I was about to say Revenge of the Jedi, the original title. Sorry. Um, he's the one who shows up in those books. That was the expanded universe that now is the legacy. And they pull bits and pieces. So a lot of people, this is pretty much the guy that everybody's been waiting for to come out of the shadows. I'm
Is there
good.
anything else you need to see in the trailer, or you're like, I'm ready. Let's go. August
No,
23rd. Here we go.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even need to see this trailer. Like I'm happy we saw it. It gives
Hmm.
me more of a story beat as far as like she's getting like I said, she's getting the band back together. Hey, um, Ahsoka, Hera, you saw Chopper, you see Sabine Wren, you
Who's
saw
Chopper? One of the droids?
that was the droids, the
Okay.
other R5 droid. Um,
Okay.
I believe he is an R5 droid. Or I have to
The
go back and
chat, the
look.
chat will let you know. Don't you worry.
Quite sure they will.
Viewers will let you know.
So you saw them. Now, here's a couple of people who we did not see, and I'm glad that we didn't because I'm interested to see how their characters are portrayed. We didn't see Anakin Skywalker supposed to be in this. Hayden Christensen is supposed
His
some
name is dropped.
huh?
His name is dropped
Yes.
in the trailer. Yeah, they do say that for sure.
Tamora Morrison is in here as Captain Rex. As so we know Tamora is the clone. He's one of the clones, and he's also the actor for Boba Fett.
Hmm.
David Tennant is scheduled to be in this show, and Wes Chatham from The Expanse is supposed to be in here. So I'm we saw Ezra as a hologram,
Hmm.
Iman Esfandi, who plays Ezra Bridger. So I'm they didn't give too much away. They gave just enough for you to be like, oh. So if you, like I said, if you are a fan of the actual animated series and you saw like, so you see Sabine right there looking at Ezra, and you're like, okay, she hung out with, if you remember the Mandalorian, you saw that helmet. She was one of the people who hung out with um, Katie Sackhoff's character.
Bo-Katan.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's it.
So yeah, so it's these series are happening at the same time. So this is where Star Wars is. They're putting a lot of their eggs in right now. This little part of the pocket of the universe, the end, the beginning of the Republic, the end of the Empire, and the beginning of the First Order. So that little pocket of years is where all this sits. So you're going to see a lot of crossover, and maybe see some people from the Mandalorian in this show. You saw Mon Mothma,
Hmm.
where Hera was like, I fought one war, I'm trying to stop another one, and it's going to be interesting to see Mon Mothma from Andor and Rogue One, the woman that she is there, versus the person who'd been fighting a rebellion over a number of years
Hmm.
to being a statesman again, and what happens, you know, the remnants of the empire still being around. It's going to be interesting to see all these character developments.
I'm excited from the standpoint of, I think when we first saw the first teaser, whatever you want to call it, I was on record and I
Hmm.
was like, I'm kind of done with Jedi's and lightsabers
Hmm.
because Star Wars is such a big universe. There are other things happening in the world.
Yes.
Having seen this, I'm like, lightsabers are still cool. Lightsabers are always going to be cool. I mean, a light freaking a laser sword is always awesome,
Yeah.
but something about this has me excited again to see people wielding lightsabers and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Um, will it hold me for the entire series with that? I don't know, but as of right now, I'm back in on lightsabers. So,
So here's a question though:
hmm.
how many episodes?
Oh, that I don't know.
And so, and that's, to me, that's going to be the crux of how is this a self-contained story that maybe you don't need another season, or
Hmm.
because remember we found out from Star Wars Celebration, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka are all converging to one giant movie. So is this
Is Star Wars trying to do its Avengers, or is that not a fair comparison?
there are some similarities, I guess. Can you pull this off? And do
Hmm.
you only need one season of Ahsoka, or does it keep going? Because we know there's a report out that says um, Jen Jardin is the Mandalorian for now, but the show could shift from being a focus on just Jen's Mandalorian to Bo Katan. And
Hmm.
it's, they said they don't have an ending in sight right now for the show, depending on how, contracts are, done, interest in the show, and actors who want to keep doing these characters. That was a very big part of, you mentioned the Avengers and the MCU, the fact that Robert Downey Jr. and some of these guys were ready to move on. So that was why we thought in Guardians we were going to get, that was going to be a grim movie, because we thought we were going to get a lot of people dying, because we heard
Hmm.
Zoe Saldana say she was done playing. Um, we heard Dave Bautista say he was done. Um, we didn't know who was going to end, because we knew someone was going to die. That was the impression we were given. So
Right.
it could be that this is just a one season show because the big finale is the movie.
And true, very true. Folks, we talked about this for enough. We got to get this video up so you guys can comment on it. In order for it to comment, like, comment, subscribe to know when we put up more videos. Click on that bell wherever it appears. Top left, top right, bottom left. I don't know, but you guys can find it. You know where to find us: YouTube, Facebook. We trying. You can also do We Trying Y'all at Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and Threads. All that has been scrolling below for you in the little bottom lower left corner. Until
Yep.
next time, we're out. Peace.
Peace.